Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I wanted to talk about what I feel that DayBreak should do in order to fix their game before it is entirely too late. Now, I know that I've been, bagging on H1 a lot, but I really want this game to succeed. I want it to continue going on, and I feel that it deserves a bigger fan base than PUBG. I feel that it is a better game than PUBG. I know that's going to cause a lot of controversy, but the current state it's in, it is by no means better than PUBG. It's definitely a broken game right now. There's a lot of things wrong with it, but with some help and with them doing what we would like them to do by listening to the community, we could fix this game. Whether they will do that or not, I do not know. But my first thing I want to talk about is the fact that they need to just scrap everything from this map and revert back to Z1 days. Make the map again, make it exactly like Z1, the same exact map, bring everything back and start from scratch, just like they built the game right now. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, they have a lot of work put into this. It's garbage. It's garbage right now. It's just better off to start from scratch and have them listen to the community and do as we want, because the Z1 map was a lot better than this map anyway, and they've added so many freaking POIs to this game, to this map anyway, that it has completely ruined it anyway. So I feel that they should just scrap this whole thing, this whole Z2, everything, go back to day one, Z1, and we'll go from there. Now, the next thing that I want to see in the game is them to go back to the hit reg that we had in preseason 2 and 3. The hit reg in preseason 2 and 3, a lot of people will argue, was some of the best hit reg that we've ever had. Now, it did have its issues, but for the most part it was very well-rounded. You didn't have this shooting through people's faces for 20 minutes. I know the hit reg is amazing right now in the combat update, but that's because they made the bullets shoot completely straight and made them shoot like a million times faster. But if they could find a happy medium of the combat update, and make the hit reg based off that to where it would be good instead of doing the preseason 2 to 3 update, that would work too. The hit reg is definitely really good on the combat update, but it definitely is, not what we need to see in H1. The no bullet drop and the fast bullet speed and all that, that's just not H1. H1 needs bullet drop. H1 needs slowish bullets, not laser beam bullets. But the next thing they need to just completely, I don't even know why it was in the game. I said when they added it to the game that we did not need it. They need to never, ever think about going with these stupid bullshit hit markers. The yellow for the Kevlar, the yellow for the helmet, the white for the car, the stupid shit that they added. That is completely, should not be in the game. That was a noob-friendly update. When they added the hit markers to the cars and the hit markers, the yellow ones and shit, that is when the game went really downhill fast. That was completely, unnecessary. That did not need to be in the game. Anybody that had played the game for more than 100 hours could see if their bullet was hitting a car or not. You did not need a white hit marker to know if you were hitting a car or not. You could tell by the sound if you were hitting a helmet or a Kevlar. You did not need to see a different color to know if the color was going. Next thing, bring back drop shotting. Drop shotting was a very effective thing that we used most of the entire game. You would get an AK off spawn, you drop, roll, and spray, and then you'd shit on kids, and it was fun. It was a skill gap, and then people complained and got pissed and was like, oh, I can't kill people while they're rolling on the ground, so they got rid of it because the noobs thought that it wasn't fair that they could roll on the ground and shoot at them. Well, that's a skill gap, and every single time that they would do these updates, like preseason 4-ish, that's when they were adding more and more noob-friendly updates. Car hit markers, getting rid of drop shotting, just the skill gap was just shrinking, and we then eventually watched it completely disappear in what is now the combat update. Next thing they need to bring back is the flinch from Z1. Flinch was a skill gap that made you miss if you jumped. Now, it sort of is the thing in the combat update. There's some weird flinching thing that's going on, but it's not a flinch, it's just, I don't even know what it is, but it's weird. When your guy jumps as you shoot, it's like your bullets jump, but your guy doesn't jump as you start to shoot. That's their way of fixing the recoil. The way that they need to fix the recoil is by simply making it to where, there's anybody that has a lot of hours in the game knows there's a rhythm with the AR and a rhythm with the AK that was in the game for most of the entirety of the game's lifespan. That if you shot that fast, then you had perfect accuracy, and you also melted the shit out of people because you were shooting pretty fast, but it still was perfect accuracy. And if you what they need to do to fix the recoil is if you hit that perfect rhythm, and I mean perfect, you have to hit it perfect, then it does do the same thing. But if you're just a tiny bit too fast or a tiny bit too slow, then your bullets go, you know, vertical recoil and all that stuff. But then if you slow down, you know, then it'll to a certain rate of fire, then it'll, you know, even back out to where it's just shooting straight. But anything above that, up until you hit it perfectly, should go up with vertical recoil. The vertical recoil that they've made now makes no sense. You know, the whole the cone of fire bull crap, you know, that doesn't work. The thing in the combat update, that is, it just makes you miss bullets when you go to shoot, and like even if you're aiming directly at them. The next thing that I want to stress, that I've already said a little bit about, is that we do not need POIs, new POI, new POI, new POI. The thing about Z1 is it's hard to get 20 plus kills unless you're a very good player, and you get kind of lucky to find people. And the more and more POIs that you add for these people to hide inside of, the less and less chance it is that you'll find them and kill them. In preseason 2 and 3, I got all kinds of kills. I mean, I wasn't even that good. I got like a 23 kill game, but I found all of them running through fields where POIs are now at, where they could hide in, instead of, you know, being just walking in the field where I would kill them at. Another thing I want to touch on is that they need to revert to the old AK spray. The AK spray in preseason 2 and 3, before they added recoil to it, was perfect. The AK was gorgeous in preseason 2 and 3. Preseason 2 and 3 was just really good overall, but if you put preseason 2 onto Z1 map, boom, you have just beautifulness with some better hit reg anyway. But the next thing I wanted to talk about was removing these gas rings, locations of where you are, and all these other noob-friendly things. You know, I keep stressing noob-friendly things, but when they added showing exactly where the gas ring was, that was one thing. See, back in Z1, if you didn't play, the map was very, very simplistic. The overlay was simplistic, and it did not tell you like anything about your location. You had to, the only thing you had to go off of was in the top right. You know, you have A5, F, whatever. That's what you had to go off of. You had to go up to the top right to your A, and then go down to 5 and see that you were in A5 and see that the gas was in F3, and you had to know if you needed to go north, south, east, or west to go to the safe zone. And I had a cousin that played on my PC at the time that didn't know his directions and didn't know how to work the map, and he would die to the gas 90% of the time. Now that was another skill gap that was in the game. I mean, it's not much of a skill gap, but you do have to learn how to navigate the map. The only thing that was wrong with Z1 was the fact that you could fall down into some mountain ranges and you would get stuck and couldn't climb out of them. That is the only problem that Z1 had, aside from a few, you know, like little things. But that's basically all that it had. You would fall down into some mountain ranges and you would get stuck. I want to see this game succeed. I want to see it be a good game because I love the game. I absolutely love this game. This is one of my favorite games of all time. It probably will always be one of my favorite games of all time. And I hate to see it go down the toilet and, you know, end. I really don't want it to end. I know a lot of you got mad saying that, oh, it isn't going to end, the game isn't dying, when I made that video yesterday. But the fact of the matter is, if it keeps going in the direction it's going and they do not listen to us at all, then the game is going to die. It's going to end, and that's just going to suck. Listen to the pros. Listen to the community. Scrap this bullshit combat update. Scrap this map. Go back to Z1. Start from scratch and listen to every single thing that we say and do it. DayBreak.